بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم، والصلاة والسلام على أشرف المرسلين. اللهم صل وسلم وبارك على رسول الله. أعزائي الطلبة والطالبات طلاب الصف الأول الثانوي، إن شاء الله هنتناول مع بعض practice exercises، يعني أسئلة البركتيس، النماذج الوزارة طبعا اللي عندنا في كتاب الورك بوك أو كتاب الأكتيفيتي. لو جينا نبص عندنا على سؤال التشويس، choose the correct words to complete the sentences. Dalia didn't have space friends when she started at her new school. طبعا داليا didn't have any، لأن إن طبعا معروف إن بتيجي في الجملة مين؟ النيجاتيف اللي هي المنفية. عندنا number 2. In Egypt, students in primary school have to wear a uniform. A uniform يعني الزي المدرسي أو الزي الموحد. طبعا الآ بتسبق الاسم المفرد اللي بيبدأ بصوت ساكن، أو الكلمات التي تبدأ بيو أو الإيو أو الإي دبليو إي المنطوقة يو، المنطوقة يو، يونيفورم. Number 3. The teacher gave us space homework for the next lesson. طبعا هنا في التشويس بتبقى صم، لأن صم بتأتي في الجملة المثبتة وبتسبق الاسم الكاونتبل المعدود الجمع والاسم الانكاونتبل غير المعدود. نيجي لنمبر 4. What do you intend to study when you join the university? I am going to study engineering. طبعا ده intention يعني نية. Why space you volunteer at the new youth club next summer? Why don't you volunteer? طبعا هنا suggestion يعني اقتراح. Why don't you? Did you break your arm yesterday? طبعا did بيجي مع الانفينيتيف مصدر الفعل في الباست، يبقى did you break. We should donate money to charities to help the poor. طبعا donate يعني يتبرع بالموني. The beach was really crowded so we couldn't find a place to sit. Crowded يعني busy مزدحمة. Number 2. Fill in the gaps with one word. Next week our school طبعا في الفيوتشر المستقبل is holding a special event to help students. is holding لأن هنا مضارع مستمر لأنه ايه في ترتيبات مستقبلية. a special event to help the students. a special event to help students to learn أو to know. طبعا is holding present continuous لأنه future arrangements يعني ترتيبات مستقبلية. طبعا قلنا مناسبة أو ترتيب لشيء بيبقى مضارع مستمر. to learn ممكن أقول to learn أو to know what to do after their exams. In the morning we are going to watch videos about career choice and listen to speeches by people with different jobs. I think we will be able to ask questions, but I am not certain. In the future, we are going to work in groups and to do some more research about the jobs we are interested in. طبعا دي بالنسبة لقطعة fill in the gaps. بالنسبة للترانسليشن عندنا ecotourism aims at providing holidays to places which are endangered and isolated. تهدف السياحة البيئية إلى ممكن نقول تنظيم أو توجيه الرحلات أو الإجازات إلى الأماكن المعرضة للخطر وإزوليتد اللي هي النائية. Try to avoid mixing with bad friends who have bad habits. حاول أن تتجنب الاختلاط طبعا mixing مع أصدقاء السوء الذين يمارسون العادات السيئة. بالنسبة ل translate the following into English. ذهبنا إلى الشاطئ في نهاية الأسبوع الماضي واستمتعنا بالسباحة في البحر. At the weekend we went to the beach and enjoyed swimming in the sea. Have you ever spent the summer holiday with your friends outside the Cairo? طبعا هي translation لجملة هل سبق لك أن قضيت أجازة الصيف مع أصدقائك خارج القاهرة. طبعا ده practice number 1. نيجي ل practice number عندنا اللي هو الباسج. Cyberbullying. The word cyberbullying refers to bullying on the internet or on a smartphone. Most teenagers have experienced some kind of cyberbullying, and it affects both girls and boys. One problem is getting offense message on social media in text or emails. Another problem is when police most personal information or pictures of someone. Sometimes it can be anonymous, and that means the victims don't know who is attacking them, which can be very stressful. Teenagers need to know that they can talk to an adult about what's happening. It's important to report police on website, and the police can also help. Any kind of bullying can have serious consequences, so most schools have systems to deal with cyberbullying. It's very important to report any problems and help everyone to stay safe online. Number 1. Cyber affects طبعا boys and girls. Most teenagers have to talk to adults about cyberbullying. Cyberbullying isn't unusual, يعني غير عادي. Who needs to be safe online? Everyone. What are the best ways? What are the best ways of staying safe online? The best ways of staying safe online is to report any problem. What can you do if you discover someone you know is a cyberbully? I must talk to an adult about him or her, or report him or her on website, and the police can help. Why do some people become bullies? طبعا give any reasons for this. For example, they wanted to annoy others. ممكن بيحبوا يضايقوا الآخرين. They wanted to tell personal matters about others، يعني شؤون or affairs about others، يعني شؤونهم الشخصية. They wanted to talk about personal life of others، بيحبوا يتكلموا عن حياة الشخصية للآخرين. So that it's a kind of bullying، يعني البلطجة. They want to take pulling money from them. Choose one of the two topics to write about. طبعا هنختار من الموضوعات اللي معانا ونعمل paragraph. For example, the advantages and disadvantages of living in a place which is a popular tourist destination. وطبعا في برضو عندنا email. ده بالنسبة لنمبر 1. نيجي عندنا النمبر 2. Practice number 2. Choose the correct words to complete the sentence. Have you finished cleaning your room yet? طبعا معروف ان الفعل finish بيجي وراه الفيرب plus ing. I forget my calculator to school. I forget to bring my calculator to school. نسيت ان انا احضرها means I didn't bring it. لكن I forget bringing طبعا ان هو احضرها وناسي، ولكن هنا انا I forget to bring it يعني نسي ان هو يحضرها. باسل offered طبعا offered بيجي معاه to plus infinitive. offers to help. Egyptian cotton clothes are sold all over the world. لأن الجملة هنا باسف مبنية للمجهول وطبعا دي fact، فالمبني للمجهول طبعا verb to be والتصريف الثالث. The space is the natural world around us طبعا the environment. I have a new app طبعا قبل application on my smartphone يعني تطبيق on my smartphone which helps me practice foreign languages. A person who writes poetry is called a poet، يعني بيكتب الشعر ده بنسميه poet يعني شاعر. A novel is a long written story. النوفل ده عبارة عن قصة طويلة. A long novel story. I am always careful when I do my shopping online. طبعا do shopping، لكن go shopping على طول، لكن do the shopping أو do my shopping and so on. I use a different password for each site and my passwords are طبعا passwords plural جمع are usually quite complicated طبعا are in a plural. This is because I had a bad experience once when I was buying a pair of shoes online. طبعا when I was in في الباص I got a strange email from the website and I didn't know what to do with it. In the end, I opened the email and my computer turned off and on again. Some criminals ممكن أقول were attacking my computer أو started attacking my computer. عندنا الفيرب plus ing. ممكن أقول started لأن بيجي وراها بعدها الفيرب في ing. ممكن أقول were لأنها present past continuous. بالنسبة للترانسليشن The Internet of Things IoT Internet of Things طبعا ديتي abbreviation يعني اختصار is developing very fast in a lot of fields. تطور إنترنت الأشياء أو تطور إنترنت الأشياء بسرعة جدا في كثير من المجالات. I'm going to buy some new clothes for the party next weekend. I'm going سوف أشتري ملابس جديدة للحفلة في نهاية الأسبوع القادم. طبعا weekend في نهاية الأسبوع. بالنسبة للترانسليشن الإنجليش اضطررت أن أعيد كتابة واجب اللغة الإنجليزية لأني أجبت على سؤال بطريقة خاطئة. طبعا هنا اضطررت يعني بقى I had to طبعا يعني بتعبر عن obligation in the past. I had to rewrite يعني أعيد كتابة الواجب. I had to rewrite the English homework because I had answered a question in a wrong way أو ممكن نقول wrongly على طول. I had to rewrite the English homework because I had answered a question in a wrong way. أو I had answered a question wrongly. يستعمل الفندق الجديد مواد وطاقة آمنة على البيئة. The new hotel will أو is going to use ممكن أقول will use environmentally أو friendly أو safe materials. Again the new hotel ممكن أقولها is going to use environmentally طبعا البيئة friendly ممكن مواد آمنة friendly ممكن أقول آمنة أو safe برضو آمنة materials يعني مواد يبقى environmentally friendly أو safe materials. نيجي عندنا للباسج tourist or traveler طبعا tourist سائح أو traveler مسافر. Some people say that a tourist visits the sites but a traveler talks to the local people. This is because different people want different experiences when they go on holidays. Some tourists prefer يعني بيفضلوا طبعا food which is familiar to them and so they often look for famous fast food restaurants or food from their own country. They want to see the famous museums, monuments, and beaches, and they will usually speak in their own language when they go abroad. On the other hand, travelers اللي هم المسافرين will usually learn a few phrases in their local language, and they want to eat in typical cafes and restaurants. Sometimes they will look for places to visit that are less famous because they enjoy finding something little different. Today both travelers and tourists are learning about their impact on the environment. It means that whatever type of traveler you are, it's always good to respect the place you visit so that other people can enjoy them too. عندنا number 1. Why do travelers go to foreign countries? Why? To meet new people. Tourists don't usually go local restaurant. Travelers try to speak a local أو the local language يعني اللغة المحلية بيحب يتكلم بيها، اللي اللغة البلد اللي هو راحها. These days tourists and travelers both reduce بيقللوا their impact تأثيرهم on the environment على البيئة. What type of damage can tourism cause? Why is it important not to damage the places we visit? طبعا tourists can damage historic places. It's important not to damage them because they are very valuable. They represent the heritage of the country. طبعا انها بتمثل تراث الدولة. Which type of visitor do you think you are most similar to? بالنسبة لك بتفضل for me, yes, the person who I think or give your opinion for the visitor. نوع الزائر اللي تعتقد ان هو are most similar يعني متشابه لك. لو انت زائر وبتاخد نفس المكانة. What can you do? I think I will save the countries or the country's heritage. طبعا هحافظ على تراث البلد. not to damage this heritage. وطبعا ما ندمرش هذا التراث. Do you think that traveling to different countries changes how you see the world? طبعا do you think that traveling to different countries that changes هل بتتغير؟ of course from country to another country من دولة إلى أخرى because every country has its culture and its habits. طبعا لها ثقافتها ولها عاداتها and traditions, so we should be adapted to these cultures and these adapt يعني بنتأقلم أو بنتكيف مع الكالتشرز الثقافة مع التراديشنز التقاليد to live in this place عشان نعيش في هذا المكان. طبعا قلنا السؤال تشوز. طبعا عندنا توبك write a summary of a story نكتب تلخيص لقصة أو write an autobiography. autobiography طبعا اللي هي السيرة الذاتية for someone including his interests, experience. For example, talk about a person you know and talk about his interests and his experience. طبعا ده اللي هو الاسي اللي عندنا. لو جينا نبص على practice number 3. Choose the correct answer or word to complete the sentences. Number 1. Do your parents usually donate blood? طبعا do لأنه في الإجابة قال له yes they always do. Number 2. When Aya visited me I was decorating my room so she offered to help me. طبعا هنا past continuous لأن طبعا الجملة بتدل على الاستمرار. I remember speech that young men last summer. طبعا last summer يبقى المفروض ان هي خلاص تتذكر حاجة حدثت، فطبعا شيء حدث يبقى ايه الفيرب بلس ing لان طبعا remember او forget بتعبر ing لو الفيرب معاهم ing معناه ان الفعل تم حدوثه لكن تو لسه هيحدث في الفيوتشر، فطبعا الجملة بتدل على انها في الباست يبقى انتهت. يبقى I remember seeing that young man last summer when I was in شرم الشيخ. Sadly, my uncle has been ill since he was a young man. طبعا since قبلها بتسبق بمضارع تام وبعدها past simple الماضي البسيط. The tennis player is admired for doing a lot of voluntary work. طبعا is admired يعني معجب بيه. طبعا بالجملة passive مبنية للمجهول. The Galapagos Islands in Ecuador are famous for the unique animals such as the tortoise which live there. The police accused the young man of stealing the money. accused يعني اتهمه. It's taken for granted يعني شيء مسلم به that bullying is bad behavior which we all must change. طبعا it's taken for granted يعني شيء مسلم به يعني قطع حدوثه. Last year we learned about pollution at school, so in the summer I decided to go on a voluntary holiday. go يعني أذهب. with my friends مع أصدقائي. We have to clean the beaches ننظف الشواطئ. ممكن أقول we had to clean some beaches بعض الشواطئ أو the beaches الشواطئ along the north coast. There was a lot of plastic. There was طبعا بنتكلم في الباص. There was a lot of plastic rubbish لأن الربش uncountable فقلنا there was like water bottles and plates in the sand. We worked in teams and each team changed a different part of the beach. We were careful not to damage any shells of wildlife or wildlife. shells طبعا اللي هي الصدف أو القوقعات. wildlife ده الحياة البرية أو الحياة البرية. I remember playing that card game when I was a child. أتذكر لعبي أو أني لعبت الكاردز اللي هي الكوتشينة عندما كنت طفلا. Which do you prefer, reading a poem or a short story? أيهما تفضل، قراءة قصيدة أو قصة قصيرة؟ ولد روبرت ستيفنسون في اسكتلندا في عام 1850 ومات عن عمر يناهز 44 عام. روبرت ستيفنسون was born in Scotland in 1850 and died when he was 44. لقد انتهيت توا من تناول الغذاء وسوف أتصل بك في خلال 10 دقائق. I have just finished having lunch and I will أو ممكن أقول I am going to phone you within 10 minutes وسوف أتصل بك في خلال 10 دقائق. طبعا ده لو قرار سريع. بالنسبة للباسج اللي عندنا Mary Shelley in 2018 it was 200 years since the publication of the Gothic novel Frankenstein or the Modern Prometheus. It was written by Mary Shelley, who was born in London in 1797. She was the daughter of the famous writer Mary Wollstonecraft and the philosopher William Godwin. Mary didn't go to school, but she educated herself using her father's library at home. In 1812, Mary met the poet Percy Bysshe Shelley, and in 1816 they married each other in France. Then in 1817, Mary wrote a travel book about the journey she took with Shelley to France. And then in 1817, Mary wrote a travel book about the journey she took with Shelley to France and Switzerland after her husband's death. بعد وفاته in 1822, Mary returned to England and she continued to write novels. Many people think that The Last Man, 1826, is her best book, but Frankenstein is Mary Shelley's most famous novel. It tells the story of what happens when a scientist creates a human being. There have been many different films about the story. Some of them are frightening, but others are comedies. When was the first publication of Frankenstein? طبعا 1818. Mary Shelley was born in London and became a writer. Mary Shelley's most famous book is Frankenstein. Frankenstein is a Gothic novel. Gothic يعني ايه؟ يعني رعب. يعني Gothic اللي هو رواية رعب أو خوف. Mary Shelley didn't go to school. Do you think it's easier or more difficult to educate herself today? To educate yourself today. طبعا ده ممكن أعبر about myself. I think it's easy because the internet, the social media helps me more to educate or to learn. I think for me. Why do you think so many film versions of Frankenstein have been made? Because it was a very famous novel. إنها كانت مشهورة جدا. أو because it's a Gothic novel. طبعا اللي هي قصة رعب وخوف. اللي هي قصة أشباح يعني. What kind of stories frighten you? Gothic stories. All of us, I think we were frightened of Gothic stories اللي هي قصص الرعب أو الأشباح because they are about frightening things that happen to mysteries, old buildings and lonely places وأماكن منعزلة. طبعا express yourself. ومن هنا وصلنا لنهاية البراكتس. طبعا ده الفاينل، نهاية البراكتس اللي عندنا. أتمنى التوفيق للجميع، وطبعا اللي ما اشتركش في قناتنا يشترك وبفعل الجرس ويعمل لايك للفيديو عشان يوصل لكل زمايلنا. ويا ريت كلنا نعمل لايك للفيديو عشان ان شاء الله يوصلنا كل الفيديوهات. والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.